What's going on, gamers? So here's our next salt farming video, or entertainment. And Reforge's title is PlayStation going third party. There's 2 minutes and 52 seconds here, but then there's some comments to get into as well. We're gonna get into all this. Are you ready to see what Reforge has to say here? Oh yeah, it gets interesting. Okay, hopefully you guys enjoyed all my other videos, right? Because yeah, it's been pretty funny. You ready to get into this? Let's get going, y'all.
Is PlayStation turning into a third-party publisher or company? That's the big debate right now that got stoked again by a job posting. There's a job posting for a senior director for multi-platform and account management. And many people are saying, oh, this is a sign that they're changing. They're going to go for a multi-platform strategy. The mistake that people are making is PlayStation already has a multi-platform strategy. This isn't new. Herman
He wants this. Reforge, what are you talking about? It said out of year. Out of year, mid-range. Now, if you mean the way that they're handling PC with PlayStation, reflecting to Xbox and to Nintendo, sure, but the outer reach means that they're looking to grab other IPs that are kind of like just sitting there. Like Shuhei said, Infamous going on Nintendo would not hurt PlayStation at all. It already got everything it needed, just sitting there. So they're hiring people, so the first party developers and the actual PlayStation studios are not affected and disturbed by this, and they're going to be over there doing ports and stuff. It's just like a bigger Nix's strategy. But to say that it's not new, no, man, it is a new strategy because Sony has never went to Nintendo and went to PlayStation like that. And it's not just 4 games like people are saying. No, they went way beyond that, even quicker, including all these platforms. Because there was no Nintendo around to have these type of settings to play these games before. They're just looking at pure profit. I don't see how the strategy is not changing when it's including a way bigger audience and maybe games they didn't even think about touching before. I have to say that's definitely a change of strategy. So that's the way I think about that.
Holst has spoken to this numerous times to shareholders. Their multi-platform strategy is two-pronged. Live service games go day and date multi-platform. Their big narrative-driven tentpole titles go to PC later in the hopes that people will want sequels and maybe come to PlayStation. The PlayStation 5 is boasting somewhere between 20 and 30%.
Okay, look, if he's trying to play it safe, I don't know. Actually, this wouldn't be in his favor. This would be a disfavor, to be honest with you, because he's saying that everything is just live service extension, and no way Xbox is getting even a flagpole for the PS4 era, even like an Infamous title. Spider-Man 4, definitely not. It's only going to be that, and the only people that are getting PlayStation first-party games like that are PC, and that's it, and it's stopping there. Reforge, you're reading that wrong because they said out of year, out of reach. You see what I mean? Live service is day and date. You even said that. And we know that's going to be the future going forward. So Helldivers is only coming, if you think about it, later because it wasn't included in the original day and date. But I wouldn't really so much say that they mean out of reach for that because we're talking about multiple games. And Fair Game is day and date because that's coming. So logically, like if we deduct this, it has to mean other games. I'm not saying I know what games they are, but what I do know is that they said mid-range, so they're not going to be full price $69.99 and nothing like that, like they were in the PS4 or at the beginning of the PS5 era or even $59. I think they're going to be priced according to how Sony wants to do it. Oh yeah.
New user acquisition, meaning people are buying PlayStation 5s that did not have a PlayStation before. So they are getting new users from somewhere. Maybe some of them actually are from PC. That's sort of...
He's really believing that statement that Sony said. I don't know why he spends so much PR. Where he's like, we're not afraid to lose customers to PlayStation by going to PC. Our goal is to get them to play PlayStation games so they can come buy the PlayStation. It's not going to happen. That's like, that would barely happen. So if you're looking at it that way, no. As a matter of fact, it's just the same, honestly. And Sony's extending out more. It may hurt them a little bit, but not that much.
Sort of beside the point, though. This is a position to oversee the existing strategy. This is not a signal that the strategy is changing. I have always said, if PlayStation is going to change strategy, they will signal it to the shareholders first. That's exactly what Microsoft did. You had a CFO talking at a Wells Fargo summit, you had Satya Nadella talking to the shareholders, and they made it very clear they were shifting to multi-platform publishing day and date, which they've been doing on PC for way longer than PlayStation's been even putting games on PC later. So it's a very different strategy, and PlayStation has continued to emphasize the fact that their multi-platform strategy is two-pronged for live service and their big tentpole titles treated separately. This person in this position is going to be overseeing, it says right here, the out-of-year mid-range commercial strategy for PlayStation Studios across all non-PlayStation platforms, meaning they're going to be analyzing the revenue growth, the profitability of taking their games to other platforms, which makes sense why they list Xbox and Nintendo in the job posting, because we know Helldivers is going next.
Reforge out-of-year means the games that are not coming out day and date, single player, for PC. If it doesn't mean that, the only other way is, like I said, means mid-range $39.99, because all their games are like that. But we know Fair Game is coming with Marathon. That's going to be day and date, though. That's not out of year. And they said titles. We can't just do this. It doesn't work. Something is missing. Whether you wanted to or not, I don't care about that, man. It's about, this is the thing to understand. You notice this is the highlight of everything, is that out of year. Everybody wants the right answer for that. And guys, look. I'm telling you, if they were talking about live service, I think they would have made that very clear. They're just being mysterious about what out of year mid-range price games that they want to select. But something has to be coming. When it does, I don't think this is the biggest meltdown. I think the biggest meltdown is when a PlayStation base really sees that day. We're gonna need to stop the music playing for them. That an actual single player, it doesn't have to necessarily be tentpole, but just in general, a single player game that's not a live service game gets announced for Nintendo and for Xbox. Then I seen a video that I got coming up, by the way. It was the first video I did about Dark. I did it that night, by the way, about Game Pass. That's going to come up. I should have did that probably first, because that's one of the first videos I've done. If y'all know what I'm talking about, it's this video down here. Sony games are going to Game Pass, funny stuff. I reacted to that, so look out for that in the future. He's blowing up off of that. Congratulations. But yeah, you know, this is the hottest topic right now. That out of reach, mid price. You see, out of year, mid price. Everybody is on this, and everybody wants a solid answer. What I can tell you is there's no way that's only live service. So let's just think about that. I think we have our answer. But I think we're going to have to keep confronting this until we get our answer.
Xbox. We know Lego Horizon already launched on Nintendo. There's the likelihood that more games will be going to Nintendo Switch 2 because it is such a large platform.
Yeah.
And that would be another great way of testing how profitable can our property be ported to companies' platforms later. We also know from Microsoft's own talks that they're leaning into being more of Windows gaming devices going forward and not a traditional Xbox. That would mean these pieces of property would be landing in Steam and potentially playable on those Xbox devices. This person's going to be measuring the profitability of that. So this job is not a signal of a new strategy. They already have a multi-platform strategy, and this person is going to assess just how profitable each piece of property is on the various platforms where they land. There's even...
Dude, this is insane, because this guy, to me, I think he's coping harder than everyone. And the look on his face just looks like he just had the roughest moment in his life before he came on camera. Like, it's just that rough patch. I gotta lay in the bed for a few hours. No way, Sony. Guys, the coping is crazy, because he doesn't even try to give you an inch of thinking that. He doesn't even want you to even think about that. The way he's narrating this conversation is hilarious to me. in his mind, this is terrifying. I can tell because he doesn't even give you just even any sense of like clarity. He just is like, no, it's this and like so like just PlayStation base here, man. You know, let's cope on this. It's like, dude, they're saying a lot to where it's like there's a lot of doors and potentials that could be opened here. But he didn't even want the potential to happen. You can see it. It's funny to me. I think that's crazy. Like how much he does not want this to happen. And I think it does go back to older feuds that he probably had with certain other people as well. And man, it's just interesting. Like I said, man, some people's stubbornness. That's why we gotta have this music for him too. It fits it.
Even an alleged Horizon MMO that'll be on mobile. That's probably why mobile's listed. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Why is everybody freaking out?
Oh, he's freaking out for sure. He's trying to keep it together, but Reforge, he might start growing more gray hairs because of this, y'all. Definitely if those games drop. Now, we ready to go down here? Check out what Official said. He says, now let's get to the comments. They've got games on Xbox, Nintendo, and PC. They are third party. Let me tell you how Reforge copes on this. And I'm not trying to downplay, I'm just saying, it's pretty obvious. Dude, they're more third party now than ever. This is what Reforge says. He says K. He won't acknowledge it. Not really, we have to wait and see. This could mean technically multiple things. Dude, what are you guys talking about? They went out, they're not third party. Oh my God, the only one that's not third party is Nintendo. Why is this so hard to understand? That means the moment it leaves, you are now third party. How many times has Sony done this already? How are they not third? I never said they were the same third party as Xbox. It doesn't matter. Don't try to spin it and say they're doing this, that. No, bro. Either you did it or you didn't. Did they make the third party moves multiple times? Not just one time, multiple times. Even when you look at games like MLB The Show, Lego Horizon, Helldivers is on the way, all those single player games on PC. Dude, that's third party. What are we talking about here? What is the K? I don't get it. Well, we need to remind ourselves the investor were very specific on the Xbox side. That's how it was way clear games are going to PlayStation. This could mean anything. It's very broad. I do not know, bro. Looks like to me they knew exactly what they were doing and were kind of teasing it the way Xbox did. Get everyone mad for a couple of weeks and try to ease the news to everyone. I'm just going to sit back, play my games, and see what happens. Can't do anything else. Good plan. Do people think the position of oversight doesn't already exist? Someone's doing it right now. This is simply hiring for another person to manage their current strategy. Bingo. See, this right here, dude, if that was the case, then they would just make it very clear. They wouldn't be doing all of that. This is organization for consistently doing something. They plan on grabbing a bunch of stuff and doing that. You can't just do this for just like a game or here. Just here, this is no. They're trying to expand out on all these platforms. Dude, that's massive third-party expansion, just like EA would do it, just like Ubisoft would do it on all these different platforms. But Sony's trying to do it their way, as always, some type of hybrid way. But you guys are coping very hard by not accepting that. It's letting you know out of, like, I don't understand the outer, dude, the outer reach is right there, bro. They wanted to say live service, I think they would have made that very clear because they've already talked about live service day and date. That was already talked about even before this. Now as I go through this, it's just all clicking with me. Expanding their major franchises beyond PlayStation hardware, which is already on PC. That's what I'm saying. It just literally means what's already going. That's why I say you're just expanding that to Xbox and you're expanding that to Nintendo. And maybe they may not put certain games on there if it runs bad. Who knows? But, you know, at the end of the day, like what's his face said, if it can run on the Series S, it can run on the Switch too. So somebody just called him out right here. JC, we don't do that over here. Dude, the coping is just embarrassing at this point. You guys sound exactly like Xbox fanboys. That's pretty funny. If you like. Folks like you use words like coping instead of actually making an intellectual argument. Argue against what I said instead of doing typical internet fanboy cliche insults. Reforge, you like the thing that I don't understand is how you didn't even want to give anybody any sense of hope that it was possible that the game was coming. Dude, you watch your video, bro. You just don't want, I could tell you just don't want them to believe that it's even a millimeter of possibility of coming to Xbox. I just think that you just have a bias like that against them. That's okay, man. It happens, but Oh man, and let's see how he replies. I think he just got ratioed on his own channel. You talk about intellectual argument. There's no argument to be had here. Sony is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They go where the money is. Money is multi-platform. Everybody saw it coming for Xbox except for the most delusional of fanboys. Everybody see it coming for PlayStation except for the most delusional fanboys. See you when Horizon Zero Dawn and Spider-Man get announced for Switch 2 and Xbox. We're going to hold that here on this video, guys. This is going to be very interesting. So let me know, let me know what you guys think about that comment. I don't think Reforge is going to continue saying anything. He said what he had to say for that guy. Let's see what this guy says. Why do you guys make predictions like that instead of these nothing burgers at the end of the rainbow statements? I wouldn't really say that, dude. I think a lot of people have been saying this. So enjoy the music. Enjoy the cope. Enjoy the fire. Enjoy the smoke. You know AGN's videos are going to be dope. All right, y'all. Peace out. Have a great day. Reforge. So it's a nice look. Pony, sit down. Later, y'all.